Hey fam, welcome back. Today you're rolling with the fam. Today we're going to make a good side dish that can pretty much be eaten with anything, and it's also a copycat recipe from the famous Cracker Barrel. We're going to make a hash brown casserole, y'all. Okay, now you can do this with the regular potatoes like we have today, and we're going to shred them ourselves, or you can use the frozen potatoes. Use whatever you have on hand. Tonight we're going to make these potatoes to go with our hamburger steaks with gravy and our string beans, but we're just going to focus on the hash browns for right now. These potatoes are pretty small, so I feel like I can just go ahead and shred all of these up. Okay, so this is about 11 potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and wash these potatoes, and then we're going to peel them. And then this is the grater right here. So you're going to use the grater side like you're about to grate some cheese to get that hash brown look that you're looking for. If you don't have this, then that's fine. Don't stress. You can just cut these potatoes up into like little cube pieces. Because I ain't going to lie to y'all. For a second, I didn't know what this daggone grater was. I've been looking for it for like the last week and a half because I knew I was going to make this recipe. And I was just about to be like, forget it. F it. I don't know where it is. I was just going to chop these up into small little pieces, but then it finally popped up. So good. For these potatoes, you pretty much want to work fast. You know, with potatoes, they will turn brown with the air. What you're going to do is just hold your grater up like this and then put it on the side again, just like you grating some cheese. And it's going to give you the shredded look that you're looking for actual hash browns. Watch your fingers as you get close to the bottom. Alright, so just add some water, and don't worry, at the end we're going to strain all of this water out because you don't want all that liquid in your potatoes. Alright, so I got a lot more potatoes to do. Let me get to it. So I'm glad that I did use that whole bag of potatoes because it made a lot. And that's what we're looking for, because once we cook this in the oven, it's going to shrink down some. Right now I still have it in the water, and you'll notice like all of this starch is still on these potatoes. I'm not going to drain the water off just yet because I'm not ready to use the potatoes just yet. We still have two more things to shred. So right here is some cheese. I have some sharp cheddar. And you can grate this onion, or you can finely chop it. Now this recipe is a cheesy potato recipe. So you are making cheesy potatoes pretty much, but in hash brown form. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take this. It's just a half a block. I'm going to just start to grate, and then I'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and grate all this cheese because I want some for in the dish, and I'm going to put a little bit on top. So we got the cheese. I was going to grate that onion, but my hand hurt after grating all that cheese. So I'm just going to take it back and do it by hand. So we only need a half an onion, just a regular yellow onion. I'm going to leave this little root on the top of this. So that way we can go ahead and finally chop. This actually will be faster anyway with me just chopping it up versus trying to grate it. My eye's gonna be burning more if you grate it though. We're just gonna do small little cuts. Now while we do this, you are going to need a can of cream of chicken and some sour cream and some melted butter. So y'all can go ahead and start getting those things together. And then now I'm just gonna put in some little small lines right here. Again, we just gonna dice this onion up real small. You won't be chopping down on big pieces of onion in this dish. Like the smallest little cuts that you can get, y'all. Okay, like pretty much shaving the onion. That's how small I'm trying to get these cuts. We done did all the prep work, so now we ready to put it all together. Alright, y'all. So this next step that we're about to do is very important, because you cannot have all this liquid on your hash browns, because if you cook it with all this liquid on here, you're gonna be left with a soupy mess in the oven. Alright, so what I'm about to do is just run some water, some cold water over top of these potatoes, just to get all the extra starch off of them. And then we're going to drain the excess with some paper towels. You're gonna need this. This is gonna be important. It's gonna tell you at the end if you're gonna have a hot soupy mess or a nice creamy side dish that you're looking for. So make sure you do this step. The smarter thing to do would be to put the potatoes in the strainer first before you rinse them over the sink. If not, you're gonna have your dang on shredded potatoes all in your sink. And you know, we like to work smarter and not harder around here. All your hard work with shredding those potatoes is gonna go down the drain in the strainer. Okay, these are all the pretty potatoes in the strainer. You're gonna have to do this in batches. Okay, so take 2 pieces of paper towel, fold it over, and again you're gonna have to do this over your sink once it comes time. But you're gonna go ahead and just lay a handful of your potatoes, and then what we're gonna do is go ahead and just get all the excess water off. So over top of your sink, you're gonna twist it and squeeze to get all the excess water out, and then we'll be able to put it back into this pan right here. Y'all, them little squeezes is just what you need, because I squeezed about 5 good times and I was able to get a lot of that water off from potatoes. You know, we like to give you different alternatives when making your food. So let's say if you wanted to go ahead and put these in your freezer right now, you can. But look at this. You pretty much done made, well, you did just make your own shredded potatoes, your hash browns. So if you want to cook them for in the morning, put some pepper, some onions, season them up. There you go. Y'all, I swear our recipes that we be making in the house be right on time with the supplies we have in the house. Because normally on a given day, we do not have paper towels in here. It just so happened that Daddy went to Walmart recently and bought some paper towels, a whole bunch of them. And it just so happened that for this recipe, I needed paper towels without him even knowing that we needed paper towels for this. So that actually worked out good. And I was able to, you know, show y'all the right way of how to make this dish. Now, also what we're going to need is a can of cream of chicken. Alright, so this recipe calls for 10 ounces of cream of chicken soup. This is the family size, so it's 22 ounces. I'm just going to use half of this because that's pretty much how I buy it, is the family size way. So it's still half left. And then you're going to need some sour cream. Alright, and then we're going to need a pint size of sour cream. We pretty much then got into this already, eating other dishes. So I'm just going to add the rest of this to it. The hardest part was just shredding the potatoes if you're doing it the homemade version ones. But if you just had your frozen hash browns, you'll just take all of these different components and just start adding it in. So then you have your onion. Go ahead and add that. So for the cheese, you can see it's a lot. We still gonna need some for the top. So I'm gonna take a big handful of this cheese. A little bit more than a handful. And then the rest of this I'll save for the top part of it. But total, you're going to need at least about 2 cups of cheese. Now the recipe didn't call for any garlic powder, but in our little hash browns or fried potatoes, we love some garlic. So I'm still going to add a little bit in ours. And I'm just going to add some ground pepper. Okay. Don't really think we need... Actually, I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this. You got to give those potatoes some flavor. So that probably was about a tablespoon of salt. And then from here, we just going to mix it up. And this is going to go in the oven uncovered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cook halfway through. Let the potatoes get done. And then probably like towards the end, I'll go ahead and add the cheese on top. Because I don't want that to get too brown. Because this has to bake for an hour pretty much. I'm going to add a little bit more of this cream of chicken. I don't know. It just don't feel wet enough. Maybe I have more than 32 ounces of potatoes, but let me go ahead and add some more of that cream of chicken up in there. Just trying to make sure it sounds creamy enough and not, you know, dry. That sounds better. Can y'all hear that? Oh, y'all, I forgot. Hold on, y'all. Let me add some butter. I almost forgot. I would have got it all the way in the oven and forgot to put this in there. So you need some melted butter. That was funny. The butter said, hold up. You forgot to add me. And I'm saying to myself, like, why does this not sound creamy? So I went on ahead and melted some butter. Just gonna go ahead and add that right up in there. Look how you gonna have you some potatoes with no butter now. And that was a half a stick. That's better. They're like, hold on. Get this butter up in here, child. That is a lot better. Alright. So now that we got everybody to the party, you can see the pepper in here. And it just glides. That's how you can know also that you have enough of everything, because it's just gliding through and mixing up easy. Okay, so I'm gonna spread this out. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven uncovered for 40 minutes on 350. Alright, y'all, so this is how it's coming along. This was in the oven for about 45 minutes. It looks like corn pudding a little bit, don't it? And this is without the cheese on top. So now we're going to go ahead and add the cheese. So I put the rest of that cheese on top. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes. Just enough time for it to get nice and bubbly and golden brown. So about 10-15 minutes, y'all. Hot and bubbly right out the oven. Y'all, it's too hot to cut into. So we're going to let it sit and rest. This is the homemade gravy that I'm making right now to go with our hamburger steaks. Just made the burgers right there. We're going to put this in the oven. Okay. To go with this. And then I'll make some string beans to go on the side as well. So. Ooh. Yes. That homemade gravy over top of those hamburger steaks with onion. It's about to go right in the oven, y'all. Sunday dinner. So the only thing I'm having an issue with is these little pockets, but that's just where the cheese is at, and then the bubbles from the potatoes cooking. Wish it just could have been a little bit more prettier, but I'm about to go ahead and dig into this, see how it's looking. It looks good. Let's see if it gives it that Cracker Barrel feel to it though. Now y'all want to know a fun fact? Y'all, I don't even know if we really even tasted this from Cracker Barrel, for real. I just know that it always looks good, and a lot of people talk about it, but we love hash browns, so I can only imagine what it's supposed to taste like. But let's go ahead and taste it.
Can I taste it first?
Hold on. But you see the texture on the inside is not runny. It's nice and creamy. That's why I said it's really important for y'all to make sure you drain those potatoes.
And it's a little jiggly.
Alright, so let's go ahead and taste it. And it's been sitting for about 10 minutes out the oven. And it's still piping hot, y'all. Okay.
I'm writing my makeup on.
Okay. The flavor is really good. It tastes just like cheesy potatoes. You can tell it's shredded potatoes in there. That garlic powder, I taste that, and that pepper, and I taste the sour cream. Yeah, this would be a good switch up if you like mashed potatoes and cheesy potatoes. to be honest. I'm probably going to put this back in the oven for about 30 more minutes. Just to make sure those potatoes just cook a little bit longer. Not saying they're going to be mushy, but they still have like a little bite to them. But overall, the flavor is good. So I would say about an hour and 30 minutes that I will cook this. I'm going to go ahead and cover this back up though, because the cheese is on top of it already and I don't want it to burn. But I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe. Make sure y'all go ahead and comment, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, to enjoy more of our soul food recipes, Sunday night dinner recipes. I made this to go with those hamburger steaks. Those look good as well, y'all. Okay, so roll with us, rock with us, and come back again.
Bye. Not like this. She put all.
Yes, the onion flavor too.
She put all onions in it. I do not like this.
Oh God, she only saying that because it got onions in here.
And I do not like onions or broccoli, string beans.
Well, I'm about to make some string beans now. Ew.